So all those black specks are going to disappear, and when that goes away, you're not going to see those little cover bolts down there in the bottom right and left. But you will see that the lander footpad, and we'll be studying that in the next couple of days. Looking at the amount of dirt on it, looking at the kind of dust, trying to figure out what the distribution of particle sizes and all this kind of stuff that's really critical to putting our instruments down on the surface and up. We can see the surface of Mars, and I'm just been paying attention. You know that you're not supposed to be expecting any seismology to come out of us anytime real soon, but we're going to be spending the next couple of weeks looking at that ground and finding exactly the best place to put our seismometers down. It's a very, very nice looking picture. It looks pretty flat. We're very level. I think we're less than 2 degrees of tilt, which makes our job very easy to do. It's time to get going.
Having successfully brought all the data back from InSight during this exciting entry, descent, and landing sequence, what you see before you is an image taken roughly 4,700 miles from Mars at about 12:10 p.m., 10 to 15 minutes after EDL itself happened. And this image is really our farewell to InSight, our wish for good luck, and our farewell to Mars itself as we continue on to complete our primary mission as part of MARCO. Next is Elizabeth Barrett.
So now that we've landed, we start an initial assessment phase. So the first thing we'll do is assess the health of our spacecraft and then the health of the instruments that went with us, and then look at our landing site. We've got the first picture down, very much thanks to Marco, and now we want to look at it in more detail and understand where can we place the instruments on the surface to get the best science return. Once we make that assessment, we start our deployment phase, and I believe we have a video to accompany that. So the first thing we do is we're going to deploy our seismometer, or SEIS, to the surface. Once that seismometer is down on the ground, we make sure it's in a good location, that it's working well, that we like its placement. And after that, we will return to the deck to grab our wind and thermal shield, or WTS, that goes on top of the seismometer to protect it from the environment. So the wind and thermal shield is deployed directly on top of SEIS to protect it. And you can see here we're lifting it up. You see the skirt drop down. That's going to help protect SEIS from the environment and being placed directly on top. Once we've deployed WTS successfully to the surface, then we return and we pick up our heat probe, or HP cubed. And we're going to deploy HP cubed to the surface as well. And after we finish the deployment of all our instruments, making sure they're all in a good location, all in a good state, then it begins the last portion of the mission before we can actually do the full science return. We've got to do the penetration of the mole of HP cubed underground, going up to 16 feet underground. And then we also do commissioning of our seismometer, fine-tuning it so that it can detect all those very subtle vibrations on Mars to get that great science return. This entire process, just getting the instruments to the ground, takes approximately 2 to 3 months. So it's going to take a little bit of time to get to that point, and then another couple of months for the mole to penetrate through the ground and to do the fine-tuning of the seismometer. And at that point, we'll be sitting back and listening for those Mars quakes and measuring the vital signs of Mars, getting all that great science return. We're really looking forward to that. And back to you.